Hello. Been doing a bit of work on this car, and there has been a few balancing issues since I spun out a couple of weeks ago, and I ended up curbing the side of the car and that. So got some. I had 3 bearings that had to be fixed, and they're fixed. Now, what happened was, everything was sort of sorted out, balancing was okay, and next thing, all of a sudden, the balance went out again. So, what I had to do is I had to take off one of the front wheels and put on the spare. Just lucky, the spare wheel is the same size tyre as what's on it, so shouldn't be that big of a problem. Put my rally mud flaps on. I have one left to do. These Sparkle mud flaps, I've been putting those on. There's one left to do, but looks pretty cool. I can't show you tonight because it's a bit dark and that. But we're going to go for a wee run and see how this thing performs, see how we get on here. Hopefully things will go well, you know. So I'll get her out onto the main road, and then get her out onto the main road, and then I'll give you I'll give you a view of the where I'm going and stuff. So let's do this.
Whispers in the night, echoes from the past. I seek the truth in the shadows cast. Voices in the wind, tales they wanna tell. I listen closely in the darkness where they dwell. Life after life, what secrets do you hold? Communing through the veil, stories yet untold. Flickers in the dark, lights that seem to dance, questions left behind. Give me just one chance. Calling through the night, answers that I crave. Life after life, what secrets do you hold? Communing through the night, stories that flickers in the dark, lights that seem to dance, questions left behind. Give me just one chance. Calling through the mist, answers that I crave. reaching from the grave.
Oh, I got new lights at the front too. Oh, I just want to. Oh, let me see. There's a young fellow over there, and he is doing up his car, and that he's got these It's got these neons, like you know, the first Fast and Furious video, or first Fast and Furious film. The underbody glow on that. No. It's very, very bouncy. I have to say, I'm not 100% confident with it. And the two front shocks are extremely crusty. Right, I'm going to turn you around. Let's go. Won't be going too far. Pulling a little bit to the right, still not perfect, but put two new tyres on the front. Hopefully the wheel that had the most damage to the bearing, hoping the wheel's not damaged. But I'm thinking of trying to get a bigger Volkswagen wheel, because these are running on 13s, and it's pretty hard to get tyres for a 13-inch wheel. You know, a long time ago that was a thing, you know, on standard cars, but you know, they're more sort of 14, 15, 16, 17 inch. So getting a tyre for a 13-inch rim is not... I can get them, but sometimes not, you know. I think it's around, it's 20 to 12 at night, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching YouTube, and I just felt like I just need to go out for a scotch after I've done a lot of work today with painting, bits and pieces to the car, just tidying things up, wiring the lights and stuff like that. Just want to unwind. I haven't used this car much since what happened a couple of weeks ago and that, and even before that, the car wasn't at its best. It was pulling to one side, it was uncomfortable to drive. You know, it's getting there. You know? I think I might go to the island. Right, I'll go to the island. Oh, much better. Cornering doesn't fill me with confidence, to be honest with you. There's too much sway. There's too much bounce from those front shocks. It's just those front shocks are not doing its job. The front wheels are not getting that grip, you know. But you can get this sort of sorted, you know, I'd be more likely to sort of go out and film at night time like I used to do. You know, it kept me occupied, if you know what I mean. It was something I like to do. But whoops, since the car started feeling not so good, I didn't tend to go out and that, and it kind of takes a toll on your mental health, you know. But there is an area down here, right, and it's it was one of the last paranormal investigations that myself and Rachel had done, and we were down at the beach near the pier on this island. Now we didn't get a wild lot on the bridge or on the pier, the little beach off the pier. But on the way home, we went into this forested area, right? And you know, I've done a reaction to that video a number of times, but there was this kind of a hill through this forested area, and we thought we'd check it out and we'd do an investigation, a proper investigation, sometime in the future now. And so rather than bringing a load of equipment, I just grabbed a camera and a spurt box. That's all we've done. I went up and had a look. On the top of this hill there's a big rock, and we climbed up on the rock, done a spurt box session, and that was the spurt box session where I got the response, "You fat CUNT." And while I was doing the spurt box session, I give Rachel the camera. And Rachel is usually pretty steady with the camera, but she started shaking and that. And I was feeling a bit... It's kind of like a shiver through your body sort of thing in this area. And it was in the summertime, and it was, you know, it was pretty hot. There's a wee bunny. Hello, wee bunny. Run, run, run. Don't run out in front of me now like a good little... Still running down the road. Go on. I don't want to flatten this little rabbit. Go on. The size of it. Why won't you go into the ditch? It's running down the road. It's running down the road. It's not going into the ditch. Come on, little bunny. Oh. It's just continuing to run down the road. Oh, come on. I don't want him... I don't want it to run... I don't want it to run into the ditch and then run out when I'm passing. Hello? Can we pass? Safely? Good wee... Tiny wee bunny. Right. And you know, I spoke to Rachel afterwards. There was this. She was affected very strongly, but once we came off the rock, she was fine. Now I felt some of that. Whatever the flip it was, and you know, it wasn't because of this response in the spirit box. It was. Rachel started shaking before I even started the spirit box, and she said it was kind of a shivery feeling and that. And once we came off the rock, it was fine. And then Everett fell to shit because we said that we were going to go back and. We were going to go back and investigate that. After all, you know, we're paranormal investigators. And something weird happened that we can't explain. The only thing is, you know, I don't want to do this on my own. And then I don't want to put somebody else at risk as well. You know, I'm not being, you know, putting up this fear factor to, you know, to hype up views like, you know, the paranormal is often associated with flipping negative entities and demons and all this crap. But I can't explain what happened. You know, I can't explain what happened. And it was, the effect was pretty severe, like. So I don't know what way I'm going to handle this one. Because, you know, we look for paranormal and then we try to investigate it. So, you know, if there's paranormal, if we get some sort of evidence, we're going to go back and we're going to you know, investigate some more. But when that incident happened, it fell to shit. Because I'm stuck at a crossroads here. Like, what do I do? Do you know? No. I could very well go there and nothing would happen. Like, often things, you would get activity in a location one night, you go back the next night, there's nothing. But that could be the case. But what happens if it isn't? And what happens if I'm on my own? I don't know what to fucking do here. Do you know? You know. So what is that? You want to be kind of at your strongest, going back into a location like that, with the possibility that the effects we had on our body would happen again. You know? Yet there's often this kind of a fear of effects on our body that we don't understand. And we bring cameras and we can only tell you how we feel. And the camera doesn't. The camera can only tell so much, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's we've done places like Sharon Rectory, Cumber House, all that kind of thing, and that little forest on this island, on top of that rock, is one of the most memorable moments of doing the paranormal here on YouTube. Wasn't that, wasn't a big fancy house or anything like that. It was just a flipping small rock in the middle of a forest. And, as I says, the camera can only tell you so much. Off to the right there was the church, the abandoned church, and the graves and that. Might do that some night, but I have to get over the fear of this flipping location. I have to go and do it at some point. Being associated with teams before, and the teams, the investigators on those teams are saying, why are you going out paranormal investigating on your own? You got nobody backing you up if something goes wrong. 9 times out of 10 nothing goes wrong, but there has been a few scrapes, like the abandoned army fort where I fell through the flipping floor. My first aid kit was in the car along with my phone. There's been a bit of wind, that's why I'm seeing twigs on the ground. But we've seen a bunny, so that's nice. Much more comfortable to drive this car. I was getting terrible vibration through the flipping steering wheel. After I got it fixed. And I have this funny feeling that a weight had fallen off the wheel, but we'll see when I get another tyre on the front. There's twigs all over the place. It's been very windy the last couple of days. That's why I can't film. Was I do outdoor locations, and I don't get sheltered from flipping. I don't get sheltered from the wind or the rain. But I haven't had as much uploads of late to do with the paranormal. I will try and get out though, Had a bit of a financial crisis, well I still have. Keeping this car on the road was extremely difficult. So it's been a tough year. But I'm going to try and get out to some places, if you know what I mean. One of the reasons I haven't done a huge amount is this car hasn't been the most reliable. You know, and it's nothing to do with the car. It was me not keeping up with maintenance because of flipping can't. At times I couldn't, you know. But yeah, I can't stop thinking about that forest and the effects, especially on Rachel. I had a bit of that effect. Not as bad as Rachel. Rachel doesn't bullshit, you know. So there's something to do with that hill. There's something going on that nobody else really knows much anything about. And I feel like if I don't go back, if I don't get that courage to go back, I feel like I failed, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, it's a difficult one. We're on the beach now. On the beach. And the tide's in. I don't have extra IR light, so I can't show you outside. But, oh God. I'll turn around for a second. Yeah, for the last couple of weeks, right? The last couple of weeks, what I've been doing is I have been flipping thinking about this location over and over again. You know, and I'm thinking, what do I do here? You know, because if I don't do it, I feel like I'm going to, you know, I feel like I've failed. Because, you know, there is something that happened to Rachel and, you know, less so myself, but there was something that we couldn't explain. And we were all about trying to find logical explanations for things, and we can't find a logical explanation for things. We're just going to keep going back until we find something that would link it all together and stuff. And we go to this place once, and we come off the rock, and we're on the way back to the location. We're both fine. Rachel says once she got off the rock she was fine. I felt the same way. We got down to the car and we said, we have to go there again. And she says, oh, definitely, and all the rest of it. And that was over a flipping year ago. Maybe more now. God knows it could have been before 2020. I don't know. I can't flipping remember now. But something has to be done. And something has to be done before the winter time, because if I don't do it, I'm going to feel like I failed. You know, I haven't done a proper investigation. I went into it half-assed. So I'm going to have to do it. Anyway, will we take a run back? And we'll take the same route here. It's the road along here is kind of it's very narrow, but it's late at night, so we should be fine. That was weird, that rabbit running so far along the road and wouldn't go into the ditch, it wouldn't go off the road. You know? Do you know something I was often wondering, right? There's more cars on the roads now. There's lots more with a lot more technology. And a lot of the cars have dash cams. And it's filming like I'm filming now. You know? So there's a lot more cameras in cars driving along a lot more home security cameras. And yes, there's been these, top 5s and top 10s of scary footage caught on car dash cams or security cameras, but most of it's bollocks. I don't watch top 5s or top 10s anymore, but when I did, I thought most of it was nonsense. I just find that interesting because, people go to paranormal investigations, bring cameras and that, and things kind of happen. Not full-bodied apparitions or anything, but just weird stuff. And we can't seem to pick up anything convincing on our, security cameras and dash cams and that. Unless there is, but it's mixed in with bullshit. I don't know. Oh, this car's running an awful lot better. When the balancing was out of it, I'd go a short distance and I'd feel sick because I'd have the guts rattled out of me. Yeah, because the shocks is not good. When I go over a bump, it bounces more than once. That's not good. You could lose grip that way, when you're at speed and stuff. But, yeah, I'm just hoping that that's a stumbling block that I have moving forward, is that flipping forest and that flipping rock that me and Rachel went to and we never went back to. And I keep thinking about it and I just can't do it. But I have to. Because if I don't do it, what's the point in me doing any more investigations? I mean, why? Am I going to chicken out on getting activity, strange effect on the body, and I chicken out? I don't go in and follow up on this. I know it's kind of difficult when you have these when a location, it gives you such a flipping an effect on your body and that you don't understand, you don't know why it's doing, and two people are affected and you don't know what's going on. It's a difficult one. That's why sometimes the paranormal is a bit scary. May not be anything negative that was affecting us in that, but because we don't know, we don't understand, it's flipping scary, and I kind of learned a lesson from that, to make sure that, if you're not at your mental best, Don't go out and do ghost hunting. Don't go out and paranormal investigate. Don't do spirit box sessions. That's what I do. You know? And sometimes I mightn't be in the best of form. And when I'm not, I just don't do it. 2 camper vans in the car park there, staying overnight. You know, over the last number of years, a lot of people have just given up on the paranormal on YouTube kind of thing because there's too much bullshit and too much crap and too much nonsense and stuff. And yeah, it's not good to be... the paranormal, it's kind of got this bad reputation of a lot of bullshitters and a lot of liars and a lot of flipping cloud chasers and stuff like that. And you're stuck in that community and there's fucking drama and all this kind of crap. You could walk away from it and say, I don't want to be associated with that anymore. Or you could continue on doing what you're doing to prove that, yeah, there is legitimate people out there. And I think that's what we need, sort of thing. People that don't get evidence every week. Because that's not the way it works. Or jump to conclusions. There's some people. Well, I can say I possibly jumped to a lot of conclusions when I started out, but I was learning. But there's some people that have been doing the paranormal for years, and they still jump to conclusions. And they still jump to a paranormal conclusion every flipping time. We need more people, that are clear-headed and are not willing to just jump to conclusions or get scared every time you hear a flipping sound that they can't understand. But I'm just talking about this. I was just talking about this incident with this forest and that. Rachel has never jumped to conclusions. She always kept a straight head investigating. I've tried to keep a straight head, learning over time. Something like that can affect you. It can question what you're doing, if you know what I'm saying. It's not plain sailing. It's not everything's going to be fine. Sometimes you're going to go into a location, you're going to feel sick. You don't know why you're going to feel sick. You get weird feelings, you get weird things happen. But at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, and that's what we're trying to document. That's what we're trying to get some sort of flipping understanding from, if you know what I'm saying. But we didn't turn around and go, we ran out of there and we were scared for our lives, the demon chased us, blah blah blah, all this bullshit. We don't do that kind of stuff, and never will. Because there was one time there I interviewed Rachel, and she says, what was your most memorable moment of ghost hunting? And she said it was that flipping place. Above all else, Sharon Rectory, Cumber House, forests or other places, and that was a place that sticks in our mind. That sticks in my mind. I'm not going to forget this. I'm probably going to remember it for the rest of my life. But if I don't go back and do a second investigation, I might as well just give up the paranormal altogether, because I'm not doing my job. I'm not doing what I set out to do. You know? Spots of rain. The summer's been shit. Do you know, you get a couple of hot days and then next thing it's just flipping wind, rain, and more wind and rain. And now we're into August. That summer went by so flipping quickly. Do you know, maybe we might get some good weather in September, October, November sort of thing. I hope so. Because I have a lot of catching up to do. In the ITC and that, do you know, I've done hundreds of sessions. I've done hundreds and hundreds of sessions with the scanned radio method. And I keep saying I want to try something new, and it never flipping happens. Now I'm actually trying one frequency from a radio. Can we get ITC from a radio from one station, and the audio's flipped over and comes out backwards and kind of chopped up a little bit with a noise gate? Can it work? You know, I'm not going to try it once or twice. I'm going to try, and if it can work for me, it means that I can use any flipping radio, because that's all it is. It's a radio. It's not even a spur box. You know, you get some of these radios that you wire hack or whatever, and the radios themselves are only about 20 quid. And then you see them, you know, people hack them, just cut a wire, and then put them on eBay for flipping 60 quid. Do you know, it's kind of a distortion, and it was the finances of the flipping equipment and the quality of flipping products in the paranormal that used to piss me off. Do you know? Before we can do ITC with a radio and reverse that audio that's coming out from a station that's just doing interviews and talk shows, might have something, you know. I done a session earlier today, and it's kind of weird. Ed's name it started coming out after I mentioned Ed's name on purpose, and next thing, flipping Ed was coming up. And this isn't even the scan method, it's one station backwards. Do you know? So I'm going to hack at that for a while and see how it goes, because you can't just do one or two sessions and say, well, that doesn't work. You have to do it for months. Do you know? But I'm hoping to try out a new lamp that I got, right? You know, for the investigating and that. And it's actually a work lamp from Parkside, which is Aldi or Lidl. It's Lidl. And it runs off a 20-volt battery that you get for those cordless drills and all the electrical tools that I have. And what is it? It got 8 different little lenses on it, and it's pretty fucking bright. Do you know, like, you go in an investigation, you bring a couple of torches, and the flipping batteries run out in no time. I'd be interested to know how long this thing will last with a cordless drill battery. Do you know? But I had a lot of things on, a lot of things on my mind. I just wasn't in the form for going out, wasn't in the form for going out filming. Even though, I've done things outside the paranormal, and I filmed to document those. I want to get back into the ghost hunting, or the paranormal investigating in places and stuff. I want to get back to it, But I do have to tackle that place, So if I don't do that, there's no point in me doing any more places. Because next thing, if something similar happens, and I don't want to go and follow up, I'm not doing my job properly, at all. Like I said before, I don't flip and make videos to entertain people, to be honest with you. Some of my videos are flipping boring. But I like to document my investigations, yeah. It's been on my mind. Hopefully I can tackle it. But folks, I'm gonna go heading back to the house now, and hope you enjoyed the chat. Hope you enjoy that chat. It's a long time since I've done an in-car rant, actually. You could see it was an in-car rant because I was ranting and talking crap. And we went around the island and we saw a bunny rabbit. We didn't see anything paranormal, but we saw some wildlife. There is a forest not too far away from my friend's house, and we went to have a look around it during the day, and I found some deer footprints. I'm thinking, I haven't seen a deer in the wild, and farmers in Donegal are saying, there's deers climbing over our fences, breaking our fences. It's becoming a bit of a problem, sort of thing. I haven't seen a deer in real life, in the wild. Go to some of these places, if we don't see ghosts, we might see deers, or some strange wildlife that I haven't seen before. So it's all good, to be honest. Anyway, I'm gonna go talk to you soon. I'm most likely gonna have a couple of outings during the day and stuff like that. I'll put those up. Hope you're interested in that. It's sort of more of a kind of a personal thing than anything else. And I'm going to try and get back into some paranormal work. Because we've come so far, folks. We've come since 2017. A lot of people have gone by the wayside in the last couple of years. A lot of the people that I've been following that, we had some sort of community, that's all fallen apart. There's nothing left. But, yeah. If this car holds up and I get the things done, I'll be more confident in going out and stuff like that, so we'll see how it goes. That didn't go too bad. I wasn't ratted to pieces, because the last couple of flipping journeys in this car, I felt like I was in a cement mixer, and it wasn't nice to drive in at all. But yeah, decided, I'm sitting there watching flipping YouTube. I'll go out and flipping have a go in the car for a bit. And when I tidied it up, I'll show you exactly everything I've done to this car since I got it. Got VRS seats from another Skoda, and that much more comfortable than the standard seats that were in it. And that actually, it came up lately that it was two years since I got this car. You know, didn't do as much with it since that I thought I would get around to doing. But finances have been a bit of a problem. But we're starting to get a wee bit more mobile. You know, we're still in summer, and the temperature is good. But sometimes there's just too much wind, or it's flipping raining. But we'll get there. And I don't know. I might have a word with Rachel to see will she come and do this investigation. You know, I haven't spoken to her in a bit and that, and I haven't spoken to her about the paranormal or anything like that. Don't know if she's completely still interested in that. But if she is, that's good. Because at the time we said, flipping out, we need to go back there. And when we spoke about it before, she says we need to go back there. And then a lot of the time, because this channel is mine and I do a lot of stuff on my own, I says, right, can I do this on my own? I'm usually not fucking scared of any place. That place freaks me the fuck out. And it wasn't just the response on the spirit box where it says, you fat C-U-N-T. It was the feelings in your body. It was a warm night, but we were shaking like we were flipping freezing. It was just, you know, it was kind of like an ice cold from inside. And once you get off this flipping rock, everything was fine. You know? But, and we can't, you know what I mean? All I can do is say, you know, oh guys, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like that, and that. If you're not trustworthy, nobody's going to flip and believe you, because the camera can only give you so much. I'm repeating myself, aren't I? Anyway, I'm going to go in. I'm going to have a cup of tea and watch maybe another YouTube video and then go to bed. You know? I do watch a lot of YouTube, but funny enough, it hasn't been on the paranormal. It's more about cars and stuff. Started watching a channel called Drift Games. Drift Games is a YouTube channel that documents drifting and stuff. And a number of months ago, they had just built their dream garage, which looked like a street. Looked like a street in a town and that. Upstairs on a warehouse thing. And it was just done. And then next thing, there was a fire. And everything got burnt. Flipping all, there was about 13 cars. There was a Lamborghini with a 2JZ engine in it. There was a Corvette. There was all sorts of project cars that they spent years on. And they're starting to get things back, though. You know, they got their insurance money. They're starting to get back into it. They're starting to get cars and stuff like that. I'm not mad into drifting. To be honest with you, I'm more sort of into the circuit stuff and the rally stuff. I'm not in... But I'm starting to get a little bit interested, you know? And I'm interested in their journey, you know? Because fucking... I was sitting there, you know... I got recommended this video one night. And I just said, it's all gone. And I press on it. And it's these guys from Drift Games standing looking at their place going up in flames and fucking tears coming out of their eyes. And I'm going, I started crying too. And I just got this empathy for them, and I hope they do well and stuff like that. Not that I'm interested. I'm interested in the cars. The cars look cool and that. I'm not well educated on the drifting. I'm starting to understand some of it and that. You know? Cars are supposed to go forward and backwards. They're not supposed to go this way. That's why the tires smoke up and every run you do, you burn out a set of tyres. It's not designed for that, but it's kind of like an art form, you know. Anyway, I'm rambling on. I'm going to go in. I want a cup of tea and a cigarette, and I'm going to watch more videos. But hopefully I'll get out and about and do something. That forest is on that island, and that island, as you can see, isn't far from my house. You know, can I do it on my own? Should I do it on my own? You know, when I was associated with teams before, you know, these team members were saying, you shouldn't go out and do paranormal, you know, just in case something goes wrong. I don't know, but we'll see. You know, I might approach Rachel with the possibility of getting back there, whatever, you know. I haven't been speaking to Peninsula Paranormal in a while now. I think there was investigations coming up to COVID, and COVID happened, and you know, I might get back in touch, see how they are and stuff like that. If you're watching, hope you're still doing well. Really appreciate those guys when they came down this way, invited also on investigations, invited us, got us into flipping Sharon Rectory, you know, as a group. You know, really appreciate it. Cumber House, wouldn't have been able to do without them. Absolutely fantastic. Always grateful to, you know, Ronnie and all the gang there. So, you know, massive thanks to Peninsula Paranormal for, you know, because, you know, it's myself and Rachel, or just myself. It's like nice to have a group that you can meet that have that similar interest, you know, and it keeps you going, keeps you motivated, keeps you wanting to do more and more. But anyway, I'm going to go, and I'll see you soon. Bye. How do I turn this off now?